All right, shalom to the elect of Israel. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharaka, Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the great millstone that taught us this truth. All right, just coming with another video. All right, to the point, man. You know, I got this article that I just want to just quickly read, point out of, right? So from Sky News, and it says, what would Britain do if our consulate was attacked? Kay Burley challenged the Foreign Secretary David Cameron, asking what would Britain do if a hostile nation flattened one of our consulates. All right, and basically this just shows you, man, how these Edomites are hypocrites, you know. And I want to play just a bit of this clip, all right, before I get some scriptures.
Supercharge your creative team with music. Find that perfect sound. Publish across all markets.
I think the whole world can see all these countries that have somehow wondered, well, you know, what is the true nature of Iran? It's there in black and white.
What would Britain do if a hostile nation flattened one of our consulates?
Well, we would take the very strong action.
And Iran would say that that's what they did?
Well, what they did, as I said, was a massive attack.
So they were right to respond, but they overreacted, is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that the attack they carried out was on a very large scale, much bigger than people
accepted.
Have a right
to respond?
Well, countries have a right to respond when they feel they've suffered an aggression. Of course they do. But look at the scale of that response. Had those weapons not been shot down,
respond, but they just overreacted.
There could have been thousands of casualties, including civilian casualties. I think that's a really important point to take into account.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I want to get some scriptures on this, because these Edomites, they can't tell the truth, man. All right, but it's just it's always beautiful when they get caught in their hypocrisy, you know, because they're saying basically all that's happening is these Edomite nations, they're just picking a side. All right, they're just picking a side, man. You know, the UK, the US, they're all just picking the side of Israel. All right. So that's all really that's going on, you know. And the thing is that, yeah, Iran, they you know, launched those drones and missiles, but the thing is they weren't targeting, you know, like schools and you know, stuff like that. No, man, it was military bases. Okay, and after all this provocation from Israel, all right, and that's all that's really going on here, man, you know. But the thing is, you know, if the same thing and the same situations and scenario was on the other foot, like if the shoe was on the other foot, say that was Britain would have done the same thing that Iran did. You know, all these other nations, the US, they all would have done the same thing, but they're all choosing sides, you know, because ultimately it's gonna go head to head. All right, World War III, you know, is you know, Bible prophecy, you know. But these Edomites, they're getting caught out in their hypocrisies, man. All right, basically, it's all right for them to, you know, show aggression and show, you know, and do sanctions and attacks, but all the other nations, you know, or, you know, they can't do the same thing. It's just hypocrisy, man. All right, but the world is seeing who are the real aggressors. The world is seeing the lies of these Edomites. All right, so I want to read Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." Okay, so woe means destruction. And that's what's going to come upon these Edomites. All right, because they have the power, you know, right now. So what they end up doing is, you know, going into these different countries, going to these different nations, all right, under some justification, which is really false, you know, to go in there, destabilize the country, weaken that country, and run out with their resources. Okay, we see it time and time again, man. You know, why did even Britain, why did they get involved in Iraq war? Right? Was it in 2003? You know, they joined the US and went in and then, you know, to war in Iraq, you know, under some false, you know, or some allegations or about some WMDs. You see, but this is the thing, these Edomites, they wanted to just be that they can do what they want. But no, these other nations, they're going to stand up for themselves too, you know. So the hypocrisy is being seen, all right. And even in that interview, all right, David Cameron was all looking like an idiot, okay. Because basically what you're trying to say is what's good for one is not good for the other. You know, but it's all side choosing. They're just choosing sides because this is gearing up for World War III, man. All right, but these wicked elites, you know, all these wars, like that's why they call it bankers' wars, man. Because who profits? Who comes out with, you know, the other side with the better coins? That's these wicked elites, man. You know, and these people that are getting their pockets greased, you know, and benefiting. All right, so that's what they're planning. Their schemes and all their evil plans is really, you know, just to benefit them, man. You know, at the cost of all these lives and all these things. Like he's talking about all these children's hospitals or all these civilian casualties that could have been, but they don't care about none of that, man, because they'll be the first one to press the button when there's a school or a hospital or all these other things. You know, even look in Gaza, man. You know, those Palestinians, man, they've been shredding them up. Nobody ain't batting eyes about that. So it's all hypocrisy, right? And more so, you know, who's more oppressed than the Lord's people, the Israelites, all right? That's the main thing, because they use their power to keep us down, you know, which they're going to pay for. The Lord sees everything, all right? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Yeah, because they're keeping the Israelites down. They're not telling the truth. They're not showing who the Lord's chosen people are for real. They're backing those small hats, the imposters. But it's all going to blow up in their face, because those same small hats are the ones that's going to drag them into war. World War III. All right? But this is the MO and the go-to of these Edomites. All right? In their hypocrisy, in their lies. You know, these bloodthirsty devils will go and invade any reason, you know, to go and, you know, seek conflict. You know, if they find out that there's some resources in a land, they'll go over there with some silly reason or some excuse, you know, cause conflict and war and you know, be blowing up them, you know, that land back and forth, only in the end to walk out with the resources, man, or put puppet leaders in there, you know, puppet politicians. But really their rule and their power is coming to an end, man, because we're in the last days where the Lord, he's revealing them. All right? You know, and they're being exposed, man. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right, so these Edomites right now, they're headed for a fall, man. They're getting ready to fall hard. All right, because all these other nations, they're waking up. They're seeing exactly what these Edomites are about. All right, these small hats, you know, and these other Edomites that are backing them. You know, this is the thing, man, because all these other nations, they got these capabilities to where they're going to stand up and defend themselves, man. You know, it's not just going to be a thing where these Edomites just keep, you know, oppressing these other nations, you know, and just keep being the bully of the earth. It's not going to be like that for much longer. All right. The same ones crying about civilian lives is the same ones that's for these other nations, you know, and the children getting blown up, targeting hospitals, schools. These are the same people, man. These are the same people, you know, that had the Lord's people in slavery, men, women, and children. All right, the same people that benefited from all those things, and they ain't, you know, not sorry, not even one bit. So who's gonna end up paying for it? Hey, these same Edomites, man. They're gonna catch heavy judgment. All right, let me get this precept. This is Obadiah chapter 1. And I'm going to start from 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai concerning Edom. All right, Edom, Adawam, meaning red. All right, Adawam in the Hebrew. All right, these Edomites, the so-called white people. It says, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. You Edomites are not liked by these other nations, man. Okay, now they're in agreement with you to oppress the Israelites. But really, you know, there's a part of them that's looking at you like, okay, when are we going to, you know, give them what they've been giving us? You know, which is all that aggression, that conflict. You know, the same, a taste of a taste of your own medicine. You know, so that's these Edomites, man. They're greatly despised, but especially the small hats, you know. You know, these other nations, they're getting fed up with them, man, because they can see all the things that they're doing. All the aggression, all the provocation. This is all being seen, man. And especially those, Middle Eastern countries, man. They're not messing with those small hats, man. You know, and when America is, you know, backing them and the UK getting involved, man, it's all going to blow up. Literally, like, it's all going to come to that boiling point where all these other nations, they're going to say, you know what, you know, we're pushing those buttons, man. Those special buttons, those special kind of buttons when it turns nuclear, because that's what's going to happen. All right, verse 3 says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right, because these Edomites came from the caves, all right, from Petra, you know, that's their heritage, man, the rocks. All right, and they're proud now because the Lord has allowed them to gain power. The Lord has allowed them that nuclear capability. All right, the Lord has allowed them, you know, America and their army. But they're in the time where they're going to go down, man. The scripture says pride goeth before a fall. All right, because ultimately who's going to bring them down is the Lord, man. All right, because we're in the time where the Lord is going to return to the earth in the midst of all this World War III, all this chaos. All right, and he's going to go to war with the armies of these heathen nations. All right, and they're going to be annihilated. All right, it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because these, you know, Edomites, right, especially America and their military, they got that space force, you know, they got their militaries, you know, they got their satellites, they got the space station, you know, that's them setting their habitation high, man. You know, they like to be in these high-rise buildings. You can see who these Edomites are, man. It's in their spirit. All right, that eagle being that symbol that they use, even going back to you know, ancient Rome, man, and Greece. So these are the same people. These are the wicked. These are the Edomites that the Lord is getting ready to bring down into judgment. All right, and the nuclear weapons are going to be their end. All right, World War III is going to mean the end of America. America ain't coming out of it, you know, victorious, man. America's going to be turned into a lake of fire, man, and into a desert. That's what's going to end up happening, because America is going to back these small hats. All right, Britain and all these other, you know, Edomites, they're going to be trying to defend these small hats, but it's ultimately is going to go the way that the Lord directs it, man, which is America being totally destroyed, all right, as a result of World War III. You know, these Edomite nations, they're all going to, you know, be shooting those missiles, you know, and it's going to be just desserts, man. All right, these heathen nations, they're going to be more than happy to give these Edomites what they've been given the rest of the world for all this time. All right, so I'm going to close with this precept. This is Isaiah 33 and verse 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay, so that's ultimately what's going to happen to these Edomites, man. You know, namely America, you know, because they've been, you know, as the scriptures say, the hammer of the whole earth, man, going around all these different nations, telling them what to do, giving them sanctions, you know, starting and stirring up conflict, running out and stealing resources. So what's going to happen to them? You know, when the time comes, the Lord's going to put that spirit on these nations to go head to head with these Edomites, man, with these nations, with America, with the small hats, you know, and with Britain as well, man. All right, the UK, you know, it's going to be an all-out war, man. World War III is all these nations that got the nuclear capabilities, they're going to be involved, man. You know, and only the chosen few of the Lord's people, the elect, are going to be delivered from this, you know, that are going to be saved and delivered into the kingdom that's going to be established after, man, an everlasting righteous kingdom after this kingdom. All right. So yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying. I just wanted to make that point. All right. And yeah, these Edomites, they're hypocrites, man, you know, and really the Lord is coming to bring great judgment on them and they can't escape. You know, so with that, I want to say all praises be to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Waharaka Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, and to the elect, Shalom.